Welcome, everyone, back to Cocktails, Coffee, and Convos with Kelly D and I. And we are so excited to be here with you this week. As you guys know, we drop a new episode every Tuesday because we just love this and we love you and we're here for it. So, always bringing just the most random topics. So, hopefully, they're ones that serve you in their right timing. And you can always scroll through. And typically, we do three episodes per topic. So, this next 3 weeks, what we want to bring to you guys is how are you investing in your own growth? And so we want to get into all the different things that come along with that. Some feel good, some feel bad, some just are. All of them just are, really, right, Kelly D?
Yep.
But yeah, so that's what we want to chat with you guys about. And why do we chat with you guys about these things? Well, because we also live them and do them and experience them and
That's
move
right.
through them and teach about them. So
That's
this is
right.
just another avenue of that. So anyway, today we're going to talk about like ways to invest in yourself. And like first though, Kelly D, I'm going to ask just for anyone who's listening that's like, well, what does that even mean? I'm going to just see if you can kind of start us off with like what does investing in yourself mean? And then like what do you do? Because I know you and I are the same and that we're always working to just
Yep.
improve and
You have
grow
to.
and
Yep.
strengthen, right?
For
So
sure.
share with us a little bit about like your whole situation around all this.
Well, it's really about investing in yourself 100%, right?
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
like obviously creating like some more activities that you enjoy, but also that will enhance your everyday life. Like
Hmm.
for me, I'm a bit of a nerd, so always like to take like little courses, right, to help me like
Like
tweak my
workshops, that
practice.
kind of idea.
Yeah, like
Okay.
just little workshops that
Hmm.
can help me
Hmm.
tweak like my business or myself because
Hmm.
in my line of business, I do soul alignment work and all that kind of stuff, but I
Hmm.
too need to identify who I am and I need to grow because we're always constantly changing and shifting and evolving into what we're actually supposed to be doing. So
Hmm.
I often take like different, like you say, the workshops and the seminars to just tweak little things because when
Hmm.
we make one shift, everything else in our lives, like whether it's our home life, our partnerships,
Hmm.
our like like our family dynamics, our finances
I was gonna
shift.
say finances too, right?
Yeah, right. So
Yep.
anytime we make an internal shift that is in alignment with who we are, everything
Hmm.
else around us
Hmm.
starts to shift them as well. And some things, as we'll talk about later, but some things open the door for more opportunity, which is always
Yes.
fantastic. And
Yeah.
then other times things start to fall away. So
Hmm.
but sort of to answer your question, for me, I used to go to yoga like 5 times a week, and I have osteoarthritis in my knee,
Hmm.
so I had to change up my exercise because I had to
Hmm.
get a cortisone shot. So I joined the YMCA. I don't know if you have that in the
We do
United
have that.
States. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so I joined the YMCA because it's super close to the college that I work at. So I started doing this exercise program that's more congruent to my knee injury
Hmm.
and to my health care, right? So
Hmm.
I leaned off yoga. So I've been doing this for about 2 months now. And
Hmm.
I am missing yoga. I'm like, I
Oh
can't,
yeah.
I need to get back into that because
Yeah.
when I do the yoga, I go to a hot yoga studio. To me, it's like I have like the elements of heat. I have like stretching. I'm following a routine. I'm listening to someone else to guide me. I don't have to
Hmm.
do it on my own, right? So
Hmm.
it's kind of in a way like for me, I always call it that it's a sensual thing because all of my senses are being activated, right? So I went and I bought a 20 like a 20 pack so I could go whenever I want. I
Oh
usually buy
yeah.
a
Yeah.
yearly package, but like I mentioned, I had to change things up. So I went to yoga yesterday, finally, for after two months, and I just feel so invigorating. And
I
I
love that.
noticed, yeah, and I noticed that I had a better sleep, and
Mhm, mhm.
except for my cat, it's a whole other story that we
The
just talked
missing
about,
cat.
the missing cat, and who went to I don't know where, but anywho, and then yeah, I had a fantastic sleep, like an actual like I felt healthy this morning. I felt like rejuvenated. So those are kind of two things that I incorporate with my own like self-care and growth, but I'm also working on
For sure.
like a FODMAP diet, more plant
Hmm,
based, which
hmm,
has
hmm.
really shifted my whole thing. So just interesting how we incorporate different actions,
Yeah, for sure.
how they shift and change, right? So what about you? What kind of things do you incorporate to
Gosh, like,
enhance your growth, Dr. B?
yeah, well, I feel like it's ever evolving, right?
Mhm.
Seasons, right? Like you're kind of adjusting that physical outlet. So I have some non-negotiables for sure. Some things that I'm adamant about.
I
I always
love
have,
that word.
yeah, I know you do. And 22 days. Or 22. Um, but my absolute non-negotiables is that I get treated 2 times a month as a minimum. So it could be more. There's such a thing as over trading. So we don't
Mhm.
necessarily do that. But like I look ahead at my calendar and I'm looking at, okay, who do I have? So, I do the biofeedback to kind of tune in with myself to say, like, who do I need right now? Because I have an incredible Rolodex, if you will, of practitioners that are just fantastic, but they all have their own little niche that they work in. And so for me, it's staying in alignment. We're going to use that word, mind, body, and soul. So of course I'm constantly doing the maintenance, right? I'm filling up the gas tank in the car on a day-to-day basis, if you will, but then I need that oil change, or I need that 30,000 mile service, or I need
Yep.
somebody to help me put gas in the car because I feel like I'm barely going to make it to the gas station or whatever it is, right? So I'm constantly checking in with myself to see, knowing what each practitioner does, which one's going to
Mhm.
serve me and when do I need an appointment with them. So, maybe it's 2 months out and I'm like, oh, I wonder why 2 months. And then 2 months comes and I'm like, oh, yeah, I have this appointment. And then the appointment comes. I'm like, that makes perfect sense. Right. So for me, it's always knowing my resources and using them as far as helping to keep me in
Yep.
alignment. Um, Meanwhile, my day to day kind of maintenance, if you will, is so I do karate at least twice a week. I'd like to move up to three. It just hasn't worked in the schedule yet. Summertime's been a little bit wonky with just extra things and more kid time and all those things. Um, but karate twice a week. My husband and I work out together in our garage gym, which is incredible for our relationship because it's our bonding time. It's our time to
Nice.
reconnect at the end of the day. I have like hard boundary date nights with both my son by himself and then my husband by himself. So those for me are just like soulful in that sense of reconnecting with my inner
Love it.
people. And then in the mornings, I have a routine. I get up before the house. That's intentional. I have my first glass of water and then coffee, and then
I thought you were going to say wine.
oh, in the morning. No, just kidding.
No, only
And
camping.
then right, right. And then I park it on the couch, which I'm starting to question the amount of time my tush is on the couch, but I'm journaling, I'm meditating, I'm reading, I'm doing things that serve me and fill me up and help me intentionally get my day started. Um, and then here's my most recent I'm falling in love with it thing is I've really been trying to tune into my physical body more and giving it gratitude. So I'll give you a couple for instances. So like if I'm shaving my legs, I'm not just like shaving my legs mindlessly. I'm literally like being present in the moment and I'm giving gratitude to my legs for carrying me for the last 44 years
Nice.
or for playing, 30 whatever it was, 32 years of soccer, 30 I don't know, 34 years of soccer, whatever it was. when I'm menstruating or I'm cramping, instead of getting like mad at my body, I'm like, oh, this is so miserable. I'm
Yeah.
trying to tune into more of like, I appreciate you and thank you for shedding what no longer serves me, but also thank you for housing a really cool human and birthing that human. And like, so I'm
Yeah.
trying to just be more present with me,
Nice. Yeah.
and tuning in, but then also taking that moment of just, and that's been incredibly cool because you guys, I've had negative self-talk and every disordered eating and every idea of like why I'm not good enough in my life. And I am like determined to turn that around and really just truly live that life of like appreciating that I have this life,
Yeah. And it's an
despite anything.
everyday thing, right? We've got
It's an
to
everyday practice.
push past it
It.
for sure.
Yeah. And there's
For
some
sure.
resistance at first, right? Like my ego is like, Psh, you're not worth it. Why would you say that to yourself? So then there's that like, ah, right. But just staying strong. But like anything, right? Like it's a
Yep.
practice. So it's really tuning in. Some days are going to be hard, some days are going to be easier. But the more you do it, it just becomes not only habit, but my brain and body seem better connected and appreciative of one another. So I
Love
love the
that.
feeling that I have. Yeah, for sure. So that's really for me what I've been into lately.
Love it. Love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. So what are some other ways maybe that you have done before, Kelly, that maybe you're not doing now? Because you guys, again, it evolves, right? In its seasons. So sometimes you're going to be like Kelly, she wasn't doing yoga for a couple months and then she brought it back
Hmm.
in. So there's going to be things that kind of ebb and flow. And then there's going to be your staples that you're like, yeah, I do this all the time. This is part of my foundation, that idea. So I'm curious, Kelly, if there's anything else that you've done or know of, that you have seen like your patients really speak highly about. Maybe you've never tried it or maybe you have. I'm just curious if there's more.
Well, for me, actually, what you kind of piqued in me was that I need to start getting more manual therapy treatments
Mm-hmm.
because
You're
we always
welcome.
forget, yeah, we always forget our own needs sometimes, right? We always put
Mhm.
everybody else's first. So I'm going to book a
Isn't that
massage
true? Oh,
for
good
next
for
week.
you.
Putting it
Yeah.
on my calendar as we speak.
Yeah. Yeah, and there, it's cool that we in the more energetic world we can treat through the quantum and really see the shifts happen in that way. But
Exactly.
there is also this like whole nother level of being touched in a
Yep.
sense of like that
The
healing
connection.
touch, the holding space touch, that
Yep.
idea.
Yep.
Whereas I know during COVID, obviously I like pulled in my like quantum people, like, help me, right?
That's
But
right.
then when I finally went back into a manual session, I was like, oh, I did
Hmm.
miss this, right? So it's definitely having both in my repertoire.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
And then, like you had mentioned about a client, but I have a patient that sees me for like a combination of things, more cranial work and some manual
Mm-hmm.
therapy stuff. But I am a massage therapist, but I don't do like the F effleurage and like with
Oh,
oil
sure.
and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff anymore. I do more like specific things. But so I have a client that goes to a massage therapist and she's a female and she's single, like I think she's 65 or something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Beautiful artist, amazing woman, like
Mm-hmm.
phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But she actually goes to see male therapists because she
For the
needs to
male
get
touch.
that. Yeah, and I thought, oh my God, like how intuitive of
That's
you,
super intuitive.
like to
Absolutely.
incorporate that. And I thought, oh, like that's so true,
Mhm.
and like I'm single, maybe I'll do that,
There you go. Yeah.
right? Like
Whereas,
it's
like,
your first,
I will be
and it's
honest,
not to
someone like
be,
me,
and yeah, and like just wanted to say, it's not to
it's
be,
not sexual. No. Yeah. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
it's not, but
Yeah.
it's just because I find too, like you had mentioned this about COVID, I really feel that this year, like people are shifting and changing so much because
Mm-hmm.
we realize we actually need the
Mm-hmm.
connection to
Mm-hmm.
survive, right?
Hmm. I mean,
So
it's innate
people,
within us. Hmm.
yeah, like people are
Hmm.
really, like need to have like that connection, that touch, that the hugs, like the social interaction,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
to
It's
even
so
meet for
true.
coffee or lunch or how like an extra
Hmm.
hour.
Hmm.
We really need
Hmm.
that right now.
Hmm. Yeah. Oh, that's so true. So true. The other thing I'll say too, you kind of piqued me on this was to bring it forward was just oils. So I do use oils. So I'll do like a sense, I did just get this new like bracelet combination. And the little brown spots are clay. So
Oh,
you drop
cool.
the oil on
Pretty.
it and then it
Ooh, that's
so I
interesting.
can carry
You're
that.
like,
Yeah. It's kind of like lava rock. You're like, why are you sticking yourself? Well, let me tell you about it.
like those
Um,
snuff boxes from the old days.
right. I will tell you though, let's see if I have the little guy. I think I have the little guy. So I ordered this because I really just wanted more bangles, to be honest. And lava rocks are great for that same purpose, but these are like, right. But I didn't even know this. And then I got this little card that came with it, and it talks about when women thrive. Huh, you guys? And then this woman on here, her it says her name and like her little story about trying to like feed her children and support them going to school. And so it's
Nice.
investing in women entrepreneurs. And the group is from Uganda, and they handmade these in
Beautiful.
Uganda. And by buying these, it helps the women to be able to like they're literally running a business like a Etsy shop, right? But
Yeah, that's
how
amazing.
incredibly cool is that? And I didn't realize that. I probably just didn't read it, but I didn't realize it when I bought them. And then I
Yeah.
got them and I love them and I can't stop sniffing them. So anyway,
Be
you
careful what you sniff in.
right. Seriously. Better than butts, I guess. Glad I'm not a
Better
dog.
than butts.
Yeah.
Better
So
than butts.
so I did you said oils and I was like, oh yeah, I got this oil bracelet. It's
That's
incredible. I
awesome.
love it. Yeah. So anyway, it's my new fave kind of sniff and move on with my
Clearly.
But it's kind of
Clearly.
like it doesn't have to be a smell, but you guys think about like
No.
you use your senses, maybe it's some kind of tactile touch to like
Hmm.
reset yourself and like and again it's a practice. So if you practice like every time I sniff, it gives me this like it's like stopping and smelling the roses, right? Like if I
Hmm.
stop and smell the roses, it creates that shift. Shifts happen,
That's right.
Kelly.
That's
Creates that shift
right.
within me to then like, oh, yes, I'm like centered, I'm grounded, I'm looking at the
Hmm.
world differently after I just smelled these beautiful roses. And so this kind of has that same idea of like in that moment, if I'm feeling anything but like grounded and settled, I can just kind of reset my system with that scent.
Hmm.
So I love
And
it.
yeah, and just to tie it back into, I think it was our last episode about how we need to, you know, react our parasympathetic in
Hmm.
order for us to
Hmm.
learn how to decompress, to create that
Yeah.
self-care and learn like
Yeah.
because smells are a positive sort of like you say um trigger like fresh
Hmm.
bread, baked cookies,
Ugh, you're making me
rain.
hungry. Stop.
I know. A good bottle of
Anybody
wine,
gonna go, oh, okay.
right?
It's only
Coffee. Coffee is a
June,
huge one too.
but yeah,
Yeah,
coffee is like a must for me, right? And
yeah.
it's like that habit, right? It's that awareness, that presence with that memory. So whether it's
Hmm.
coffee means, I'm sitting down reading a book and I'm enjoying, or it means the start of a new day, whatever it is,
Hmm.
you can create and then therefore also change the
That's
idea
right.
of whatever that thing is, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
So
100%.
cool, cool. Well,
Yeah.
anything else you want to share with them about other things that you might have come up?
No, because I think our next
Okay.
episode will
Yeah, we're gonna
probably
bring it to you
add
guys in
in
the
a
next.
bit more. Yeah. So
Okay,
I
so
don't want
next
to
next week we're gonna
double
dive
dip.
in deeper. Okay, cool, cool, cool. I can
Yeah.
understand that. So next week, you guys, we're gonna dive in quite a bit deeper into when you're investing in yourself, no matter which way it is and which season it is, kind of the shifting that's occurring around you, and what that looks like, what it feels like, and all the things shifting. So, um, thank you as always for being here. We love you guys, and we trust this serves you well. And we will see you again next week. Mwah.
Bye.
Bye.